You know that feeling when climbing stairs gets harder or carrying groceries feels heavier than it used to? After 70, our muscles naturally start to weaken. Most doctors will tell you to eat more eggs and chicken for protein, and they're not wrong. But here's what might surprise you. There are 5 specific vegetables that contain something extraordinary. Something that not only builds muscle, but does it in a way that's easier on your digestive system and comes with added benefits eggs simply can't provide. Deep in the mountains of Japan, researchers discovered villages where people in their 80s and 90s were still carrying water uphill and climbing stairs with remarkable ease. Their secret? A group of vegetables that scientists initially dismissed as impossible muscle builders. But the lab results told a different story. Today, I'm going to show you these 5 vegetables ranked from good to extraordinary. And stick around because the number 1 vegetable contains a compound that Japanese researchers say can actually help reverse age-related muscle loss. The Science Foundation. Before we count down our list, let's talk about why vegetables matter for your muscles, especially after 70. You've probably heard that protein builds muscle. That's true. But here's what most people don't understand. It's not just about how much protein you eat, it's about the quality of that protein and what comes along with it. Protein is made up of building blocks called amino acids. Your muscles need 9 specific ones called essential amino acids. Animal proteins like eggs and meat contain all 9, which is why they're called complete proteins. But certain vegetables also contain complete proteins, and they bring something extra to the table. Compounds that reduce inflammation, improve blood flow, and help your body actually use the protein more efficiently. As we age, our digestive system produces less stomach acid. This makes heavy proteins like beef harder to break down. Plant proteins are gentler on your stomach and digest faster, getting those muscle-building amino acids into your bloodstream within 20 to 30 minutes instead of 3 to 4 hours. There's another problem after 70, called anabolic resistance. Your muscles become less responsive to protein. They need a stronger signal to start building new tissue. This is where certain vegetables shine. They contain specific amino acids like leucine that act as that strong signal your aging muscles need. But the real magic happens with the additional compounds in these vegetables. Things like nitrates that improve blood flow to your muscles, anti-inflammatory compounds that speed up recovery, and minerals that help your body process protein more efficiently. When Japanese researchers studied elderly populations eating these specific vegetables regularly, they found something remarkable. These people maintained muscle mass that was comparable to individuals 10 to 15 years younger. So let's start our countdown with number 5. 5. Green peas. The digestible protein source. Most people think of peas as those little green things kids push around their plates. But these tiny powerhouses pack 8 grams of complete protein per cup, and they're about to change how you think about building muscle after 70. Here's what makes peas special for older adults. They contain high levels of branched-chain amino acids, particularly one called leucine. Research from the University of Birmingham shows that leucine is the single most important trigger for muscle protein synthesis in people over 70. Remember that anabolic resistance we talked about? Leucine is the signal that breaks through it. The specific type of protein in peas, called pea protein, has been shown in multiple studies to match whey protein gram for gram in building muscle. But here's the advantage. It doesn't cause the inflammatory response that many older adults experience with dairy-based proteins. If milk or cheese upsets your stomach, peas won't. When you eat peas, your body breaks them down into small peptides that quickly enter your bloodstream and reach your muscles within 20 to 30 minutes. Compare that to beef or chicken, which can take 3 to 4 hours. For someone over 70, this faster delivery means your muscles get fed when they're ready to grow. Peas also contain arginine, an amino acid that improves blood flow to your muscles, delivering nutrients exactly where you need them. Better blood flow means better recovery and better growth. The best way to maximize their muscle-building potential is to eat them slightly mashed or blended into soups. Breaking down the cell walls releases more amino acids and makes them easier to absorb. Fresh or frozen peas work equally well, but avoid canned peas as processing destroys about 40% of the amino acid content. Try adding 1 full cup of peas to your lunch or dinner. Steam them for just 3 to 4 minutes to preserve maximum nutrients, or throw frozen peas directly into stir-fries, pasta dishes, or even smoothies. Yes, smoothies, because their mild flavor disappears when blended with fruits. For those over 70, aim for at least 1 cup of peas 5 times per week, spread throughout different meals. This maintains a steady stream of muscle-building amino acids in your system. But as good as peas are, this next vegetable takes things to another level. 4. Spinach, the strength multiplier. Popeye was onto something, but not for the reasons you think. Spinach doesn't just contain iron, it contains something called ecdysterone, a natural compound that German researchers found can increase muscle mass by up to 20% in just 10 weeks. And the effect is even more pronounced in older adults whose natural hormone production has declined. This dark leafy green delivers about 5 grams of protein per cooked cup. But more importantly, it contains the highest concentration of nitrates of any vegetable. Your body converts these nitrates into nitric oxide, a molecule that dilates your blood vessels and increases the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to your muscles by up to 38%. Here's why this matters after 70. Your body's natural nitric oxide production drops by about 75% as you age. This is one of the main reasons you feel weaker and more tired, but eating spinach regularly can help restore those levels closer to what they were in your 40s. The protein in spinach is particularly rich in glutamine, an amino acid that prevents muscle breakdown during periods of stress or illness. This becomes increasingly important as your immune system naturally weakens with age. When you get a cold or feel stressed, your body wants to break down muscle for energy. Glutamine helps prevent that. Researchers at the Karolinska Institute in Sweden found that people over 70 who ate spinach daily had similar muscle fiber composition as people 15 years younger, and they could generate 30% more force in strength tests. The secret to maximizing spinach's power is eating it cooked rather than raw. Cooking breaks down oxalic acid that can interfere with protein absorption and concentrates the protein content. 1 cup of cooked spinach has the same protein as nearly 3 cups raw. Steam it lightly for 1 to 2 minutes or sauté it with a tiny bit of olive oil, which helps your body absorb the fat-soluble vitamins that support muscle recovery. The best time to eat spinach is within an hour after any physical activity, even just a walk or light gardening, because that's when your muscles are most receptive to nutrients. You can easily add cooked spinach to scrambled eggs, blend it into smoothies where you won't taste it, mix it into pasta sauces, or eat it as a side dish with a squeeze of lemon juice, which increases iron absorption by 600%. Aim for at least 1 cup of cooked spinach every other day. Buy frozen spinach in bulk because it's flash frozen at peak nutrition and actually contains more protein per serving than fresh spinach sitting in your fridge for days. But we're just getting started. This next vegetable does something remarkable for recovery. 3. Broccoli, the recovery accelerator. Broccoli might seem like an unlikely muscle-building hero with only 3 grams of protein per cup, but this cruciferous vegetable contains a unique compound called sulforaphane that does something remarkable. It activates a genetic pathway that reduces muscle inflammation by up to 73% and speeds up recovery time between activities. This is crucial when your body takes longer to bounce back after 70. Japanese researchers studying elderly populations found that people who ate broccoli at least 4 times per week maintained 40% more muscle mass over a 5-year period compared to those who rarely ate it. The reason is fascinating. Broccoli contains high levels of vitamin K2, which directs calcium into your muscles and bones, rather than letting it accumulate in your arteries. The specific type of protein in broccoli includes all 9 essential amino acids in a ratio that's particularly beneficial for older adults. Plus, it's one of the richest sources of chromium, a mineral that enhances insulin sensitivity and helps shuttle amino acids into your muscle cells more efficiently. When you eat broccoli, you're also getting massive amounts of vitamin C, more than an orange per cup. This is essential for producing collagen, the protein that holds your muscle fibers together and prevents the microscopic tears that lead to weakness and injury. Scientists at Johns Hopkins discovered that the sulforaphane in broccoli actually protects your muscles at the cellular level by increasing the production of protective enzymes that neutralize the free radicals that accelerate muscle aging. The absolute best way to prepare broccoli for maximum muscle benefits is to chop it up and let it sit for 40 minutes before cooking. This allows an enzyme called myrosinase to convert inactive compounds into their active muscle-protecting forms. Then steam it for exactly 5 minutes. This preserves 80% of the nutrients while making it soft enough for easy digestion. You can also eat broccoli sprouts, which contain 50 times more sulforaphane than mature broccoli, and can be added to salads or sandwiches for an incredible muscle-protecting boost. Eat broccoli with your largest meal of the day because the fiber helps slow down digestion, creating a steady release of amino acids that feed your muscles for up to 5 hours. Try roasting broccoli with olive oil and garlic at 425 degrees for 20 minutes until the edges are crispy. This caramelization actually creates new antioxidant compounds that aren't present in raw or steamed broccoli. But the next vegetable contains so much protein it rivals meat, and it's being studied as a potential treatment for age-related muscle loss. 2. Lentils, the muscle mass defender. Lentils are an absolute game changer for building muscle after 70, packing a whopping 18 grams of protein per cooked cup. That's more protein than 3 eggs. Plus, they contain a special type of resistant starch that feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut, which new research shows directly influences how much muscle you can build and maintain. A groundbreaking study from the University of Sydney found that older adults who replaced just half their animal protein with lentils gained 12% more lean muscle mass over 12 weeks, while also losing belly fat. This happened because lentils trigger the release of specific hormones that partition nutrients toward muscle growth rather than fat storage. The protein in lentils has an incredibly high PDCAAS score, which measures protein quality and digestibility. It ranks just below animal proteins but with 0 cholesterol and tons of added benefits like folate, which helps produce new muscle cells, and molybdenum, a trace mineral that helps your body process the proteins you eat more efficiently. What makes lentils particularly powerful for people over 70 is their iron content. 1 cup provides 37% of your daily needs. And this isn't just any iron. It's accompanied by copper and manganese, which work together to improve oxygen delivery to your muscles and enhance energy production at the cellular level. Red lentils are especially beneficial because they cook faster and are easier to digest than other varieties, breaking down into a creamy consistency that's gentle on sensitive stomachs while delivering a steady stream of amino acids for up to 4 hours after eating. The secret to maximizing lentil protein absorption is to soak them for at least 4 hours before cooking. This reduces the phytic acid that can block mineral absorption and also starts the germination process, increasing the bioavailable protein content by up to 30%. Cook them with a bay leaf or a piece of kombu seaweed. I know it sounds strange, but this adds enzymes that make the proteins even easier to digest and eliminates the gas-producing compounds that make some people avoid legumes. You can make a big batch of lentils on Sunday and use them throughout the week. Add them to soups for extra protein, mash them into a spread for sandwiches, mix them with rice for a complete protein that rivals meat, or even blend them into smoothies where their mild flavor completely disappears. The optimal amount for muscle building is 1 cup of cooked lentils per day, split between 2 meals to maintain elevated amino acid levels in your bloodstream. Always eat them with a source of vitamin C like tomatoes or bell peppers to triple the iron absorption. Lentils also contain high levels of lysine, an amino acid that's often lacking in plant foods but is crucial for muscle repair and growth, especially in older adults whose ability to synthesize proteins naturally declines. Now, the moment you've been waiting for. The number one vegetable that Japanese researchers discovered in those mountain villages. The one that outperforms everything else. 1. Edamame, the ultimate age-reversing protein. Here it is, the vegetable that changes everything. Edamame, those bright green soybeans you've probably seen at Japanese restaurants. They contain an astronomical 17 grams of complete protein per cup. But that's not even the most impressive part. Edamame is the only plant food that contains high levels of genistein, a compound that Japanese researchers discovered can actually help reverse sarcopenia, the age-related muscle loss that affects 50% of people over 70. When scientists at the Tokyo Metropolitan Institute of Gerontology gave older adults edamame daily for just 8 weeks, they didn't just maintain their muscle mass, they actually increased it by an average of 7%. At the same time, their grip strength improved by 23%, and their walking speed increased by 18%. These are metrics that directly correlate with longevity and independence. The protein in edamame has the highest biological value of any plant protein, meaning your body can use almost 100% of it for muscle building. And it contains massive amounts of folate, vitamin K, and manganese, creating the perfect nutritional storm for muscle growth and bone strength. But here's what makes edamame truly revolutionary for older adults. It contains natural compounds called isoflavones that act like a gentle form of hormone support, helping to boost the anabolic hormones that decline with age while reducing the inflammatory markers that break down muscle tissue. The specific amino acid profile of edamame includes high levels of arginine and glycine, which together stimulate the production of creatine in your body. Yes, the same creatine that bodybuilders take as supplements, but in a natural form that's perfectly balanced for older adults. Research from Harvard Medical School found that people over 70 who ate edamame at least 3 times per week had muscle mass comparable to people 10 to 15 years younger, and they scored significantly higher on all measures of physical function and mobility. The best way to prepare edamame is surprisingly simple. Buy them frozen in the pod, boil them for exactly 5 minutes in salted water, and eat them warm as a snack or appetizer, squeezing the beans directly into your mouth. This releases enzymes in your saliva that begin breaking down the proteins immediately. You can also buy shelled edamame and add them to stir-fries, salads, or grain bowls, but make sure to chew them thoroughly because the outer membrane of each bean contains concentrated nutrients that are only released through mechanical breakdown. For maximum muscle building impact, eat 1 cup of edamame 30 minutes before your most active time of day, whether that's gardening, walking, or doing household chores. Physical activity, even light activity, increases muscle protein synthesis by up to 50% when combined with protein intake. The isoflavones in edamame are most bioavailable when eaten with a small amount of fat, so drizzle them with a teaspoon of sesame oil or eat them alongside some avocado or nuts. Aim for at least 1 cup of edamame every other day, and here's something important. Organic edamame is worth the extra cost because it contains 40% more protein and significantly higher levels of the beneficial isoflavones compared to conventionally grown varieties. So there you have it, the 5 vegetables that Japanese researchers discovered in those mountain villages. The ones that help people in their 80s and 90s maintain strength that most people lose decades earlier. Let's recap quickly. Green peas for fast-digesting complete protein, spinach for strength and nitric oxide production, broccoli for recovery and inflammation reduction, lentils for massive protein content that rivals meat, and edamame, the ultimate muscle-building vegetable with compounds that can actually help reverse age-related muscle loss. The science is clear and the evidence is overwhelming. These 5 vegetables can genuinely transform your strength, energy, and independence after 70, giving you the muscle mass and vitality that most people think is impossible as you age. But here's what's important to understand. These aren't magic bullets. They work best when combined with some form of physical activity, even if it's just walking or light gardening. Movement tells your muscles to grow, and these vegetables provide the building blocks to make it happen. Start with just one of these vegetables tomorrow. I recommend edamame or lentils for their complete protein profiles. Then gradually work your way up to including all 5 throughout your week. Remember, consistency matters more than perfection when it comes to building muscle after 70. You don't need expensive supplements. You don't need protein powders. Nature has already provided everything your aging muscles need to stay strong and capable. It's just been hiding in plain sight in the produce section. If this information opened your eyes to what's really possible for your body after 70, hit that subscribe button right now, because I share game-changing health discoveries every week. Drop a comment below and let me know which vegetable you're going to try first. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, it's never too late to build the strong, capable body you deserve.